Hello, everyone, and welcome to AJC Magic TV. Welcome in, everyone. I hope you're having a good Wednesday, and hope you're having a good day. And if you're not, I hope it does get better for you, or hope you're having a good day. And hopefully having some fun guessing some pop trivia and just having a good time and everything. So welcome in. I do welcome you. We're going to do pop trivia. There's 1950s, 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So if you're the first person to get the answer correct, you'll get the guess. You'll get to choose what category you want the next question at, kind of like a Jeopardy type of thing, but you'll get to pick whether you want a question from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. Welcome in, Movie Mania Nick. Nice to see you this evening. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Hope everyone's having a good day, or hopefully it's getting better for you as the day winds down and you just be able to relax. I know in the Northeast it's kind of like a frozen tundra type of situation with the snow and various snow and wind and cold, but hopefully you're staying warm and snuggly and everything. But I'll start out the trivia questions. If you're watching the replay, you can play along. That way you can try and guess the answers before we before I give the answer. And yeah, it went pretty good. It went very good. Thank you. but I'll do that, and if you're watching the replay, that way you'll be able to try and guess and leave a comment. Let me know how you did on the questions and everything if you're watching the replay. If you're in chat and you're enjoying yourself, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It does help out our channel. And if you're new watching, please consider subscribing. We're doing trivia right now, but once the weather kind of gets nicer, or even some places I'm going to check out and see about going to. Hello, Julio. Welcome in. This time of the day, a lot of the museums and stuff around Pittsburgh close early, but after I get off work, I could stop in and do like a museum tour or one of the art museums or something and everything. And also maybe sometime in the evenings I can go to some of the area places that are open in the evenings, like Sarah's Candies or just some other places. It's hard to go to our mall. I know we have a box lunch store there, but sometimes it's a little busy in there, and they really haven't featured too much in there. It's a little bit smaller, but I shouldn't really say they haven't really featured anything because I haven't really been there that often. But a lot of times when it's slower and stuff, it just depends on the merchandise and everything. That's one of the reasons why I kind of miss having the Disney store around, because it was always nice to go see what was new out there and check it out. But welcome in, Julio and Movie Mania Nick. Maybe others will start popping in. I'll grab some cards and we'll get started. And we'll start with a question from the 2000s. And here we go. The first question: what was the name of the spinning top toy which you can customize by adding interchangeable parts? And this is in the 2000s, year 2000s. What was the name of the spinning top toy which you could customize by adding interchangeable parts? I know growing up, my niece and nephew really enjoyed these particular toys. So I don't know if anybody that's either listening or knows the answer. I'll give the answer after I read the question one more time. What was the name of the spinning top toy which you could customize by adding interchangeable parts? And I also had like a plastic stadium that you could battle each other with. I'll go ahead and give the answer. It was Beyblades. Beyblades. They were like the little tops. I believe they might still sell them. I haven't really gone down that aisle too often in the Walmarts or the Targets and that, but I know my niece and nephew really liked them. They had the stadium that they played with and everything like that. It's kind of a slow night tonight. I know just various things going on. Yeah. I do not remember those. Yeah, I only remember them because, like I said, my niece and nephew had them, and that was big in their age range. Now they're a lot older, but that was something that they played with. Okay, the next question. What is Ray's occupation on the sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond? What is Ray's occupation on the sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond? But what is Ray's occupation on the sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond? And it is a sports writer. He is a sports writer. So you can pick the next category if you want to do 2000s, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, or 50s. So you can pick the next category if you like. And also, I just seen Mike Wheeler drop some breaking news about Jesse's Trading Post store and Roundup Rodeo Barbecue opening in 2022. The 80s. So, and Hollywood Studios are going to get the Jesse's Trading Post store and the Roundup Rodeo Barbecue in 2022. He just dropped the story about that. That'll be pretty fun. And that's kind of exciting, something different. Okay, here we go. The 1980s. Which hip hop band created a fad for jewelry made from car hood and grill emblems, especially those from Volkswagen? Which hip hop band created a fad for jewelry made from car hood and grill emblems, especially those from Volkswagen? I'll go ahead and give the answer after I read the question again. Which hip hop band created a fad for jewelry made from car hood and grill emblems, especially those from Volkswagen? And it was the Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys. Here we go with the next question. Who was the first pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball to get 5,000 strikeouts? Who was the first pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball to get 5,000 strikeouts? Excuse me. I'll read the question again and then go ahead and give the answer. Who was the first pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball to get 5,000 strikeouts? Hello, Karki, Carol. Thank you for joining. And you got it right, Movie Mania Nick. It was Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan. Did you want to stick with the 80s, Nick? Welcome in, Billy, Kenzie Days' mom. Welcome in, Annie Koo. Thank you for joining. We'll stick with the 80s for now, unless Nick wants a different one. They have the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So, Movie Mania Nick, if you're still here, you can choose the category. Welcome in, Billy, Karki, Annie Koo. Sticking with the 80s. Here we go. What is the subtitle to the film Star Trek III, released in 1984? What is the subtitle to the film Star Trek III, released in 1984? Star Trek III, there is a subtitle. And Karki gets it with The Search for Spock. So good job, Karki. It was Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. Okay, Karki, you get to pick the next category. The 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s, or 2000s. I was asking Tracy, but he couldn't remember. I'll have to get out Star Wars questions for Tracy. She would like the 1970s. Yeah, that's fine. I figured. Yeah, I didn't know about a subtitle, but I'm sure they did because of 1, 2, 3, 4. But here we go from the 1970s. Who hosted the TV panel game Match Game 73 when it returned with a changed format in 1973? Who hosted the TV panel game Match Game 73 when it returned with a changed format in 1973. Welcome in, Charlene Hill. Thank you for joining. Hope you're having a great day. Hope everyone's having a good day. Oh, I bet he was. Now I'll have to get those back out again. And Car Key gets it with Gene Rayburn. Gene Rayburn. And if you've been watching Anthony the Molar Man, he started doing the match game on Monday nights. And he's Gene Rayburn. Yeah, if you watch the repeats, he's on there. Okay, here we go. Next question. Who directed the 1974 Western comedy film Blazing Saddles? Who directed the 1974 Western comedy film Blazing Saddles? And Car Key comes up with it first again with Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks. Good job, Car Key. You can continue on with the 70s or another category. '70s again. Okay, here we go. Who played the roles of Danny and Sandy in the musical romantic comedy film Grease? Who played the roles of Danny and Sandy in the musical romantic comedy film Grease? And Annie Koo gets it first with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. Good job, Annie. Okay, Annie. You like Grease too? Yeah, it wasn't too bad. That one was pretty good. A lot of times with some of them, the original is usually the best one out of all of them. But there are some that I liked in sequels. I liked it pretty much too. Okay, Annie, you get to pick the next category, whether you want something from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or 2000s. 2000. Oop, I got a card here. Okay, here we go. Oh, you're welcome. No problem, Charlene. If you know the answer, don't be afraid to guess. Okay, here we go. Actor Robert Downey Jr. plays the role of Tony Stark in which 2008 superhero action movie from the Marvel Comics Studios? Actor Robert Downey Jr. plays the role of Tony Stark in which 2008 superhero action movie from the Marvel Comics Studios? And Annie Koo gets it first with Iron Man. Iron Man. Avengers is a good guess, but it was Iron Man. Good job, Annie. Okay, you can pick the next category. Actually, should have put it on the banner, what you can choose. Yeah, right now, Karki is winning by 1. Okay, here we go. Next question. What was Will Turner's occupation in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of Black Pearl? What was Will Turner's occupation in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl? Oh, yes, that's right, I did. And Annie Koo gets the answer with blacksmith. With blacksmith. Good job, Annie. I'm guessing you'll want to stick with the 2000s. Okay, here we go. Who was the master of ceremonies for the popular TV series American Idol? Who was the master of ceremonies for the popular TV series American Idol? And Annie Koo gets it again with Ryan Seacrest. Ryan Seacrest. Welcome in, Mike Bush. I don't think I got that. I never watched. Yeah, he was the host of American Idol. Welcome in, Mike. Okay, you're going to stick with the 2000s, Annie? Okay, here we go. Name the year the Iraq War begins as Iraq is invaded by the U.S. and Allied forces. The Human Genome Project is completed. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security begins operation. What year in the 2000s? Name the year. The Iraq War begins as Iraq is invaded by the U.S. and Allied forces. The Human Genome Project is completed. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security begins operation. And Mike Bush comes up with the answer in year 2003. Year 2003. So Mike Bush gets it. Good job, Mike. Okay, Mike, you get to pick the next category. There's the 2000s, there's the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, and 50s. The 90s. Okay. Here we go. In which year did the music video cable channel MTV launch? Oops, wrong year. Sorry. I was reading the wrong year. There we go. Sorry about that. Here we go. Introduced in the 90s, which Ben and Jerry's flavor includes the ingredients chocolate ice cream, marshmallows, caramel, and fish-shaped fudge, and is named after a rock band originating in Vermont. Introduced in the 90s, which Ben and Jerry's flavor includes the ingredients chocolate ice cream, marshmallows, caramel, and fish-shaped fudge, and is named after a rock band originating in Vermont. And Karki gets it first with fish food. Fish food. Karki gets it first with fish food. Good job, Karki. Good job, everyone, tonight. Okay, Karki, you can pick the next category. Fill her magic. That's funny. Fish food to fill her magic. She wants to go back to the 70s. The 70s. Okay, here we go. What electronic game of memory skill created a series of tones and lights and required the player to repeat the sequence? What electronic game of memory skill created a series of tones and lights and required the player to repeat the sequence? And Karki gets it again with Simon. With Simon. I always liked that game. In fact, I still have a couple different version of Simon. It was always fun to play. I remember getting that when that came out. Okay, Karki, next category. '70s. Yeah. Yeah. If John and Tim were here, they would be up against you on that too, because I know they like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Okay, here we go. Name the year President Nixon resigns to avoid impeachment. The second largest series of tornadoes in history occurs. Liposuction is invented by Georgia Fisher in Italy. Hello, Ryan, Captain Akron. This is the 1970s, so you know. The category is the 1970s. I'll read the question again. Name the year President Nixon resigns to avoid impeachment. The second largest series of tornadoes in history occurs. Liposuction is invented by Georgia Fisher in Italy. And it's not 1973, but that's a good guess. But welcome in, Ryan. Oh, that's okay, Annie. I know we were just doing the 80s there. But it was not 1973. And Mike Bush gets it with 1974. It was 1974. So Mike Bush gets it. Hello, Jeff. This is our dreams. Welcome in. Okay, Mike, you can pick the next category. I want to stick with the 70s, okay? Okay, here we go. Atari launched the first generation of video games with the release of which seminal arcade game? Atari launched the first generation of video games with the release of which seminal arcade game? And Mike Bush and Captain Akron get it with Pong. So Ryan, Mike Bush and Ryan with Pong. But they're all good guesses with Pac-Man, Space Invaders, because I had all that with my Atari, all those games. But Pong was the original game. In fact, we used to have a video game that it was just Pong on it, and we played with that before we even had Atari. Okay, Mike, you want to stick with the 70s? Here we go. In which TV series might you have encountered Jason, Mary Ellen, Aaron, Ben, Elizabeth, and John Boy? In which TV series might you have encountered Jason, Mary Ellen, Aaron, Ben, Elizabeth, and John Boy? And welcome in, John Surfbum, and you got the answer correct with the Waltons. And Mike Bush got it also, but it was the Waltons. Was the Waltons. Okay, John, you can... Yes, good night, John Boy. I forgot to write Jim Bob's name on the list. But there was a Jim Bob also. Okay, Surfbum, you get to pick the next category. You can do the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or 2000s. You want to go to the 60s. Let me grab a card. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Famous for being the origin of hippie counterculture, Haight-Ashbury is a district in which U.S. city? And this is from the 1960s. Famous for being the origin of hippie counterculture, Haight-Ashbury is a district in which U.S. city? Welcome in, Cherie Surfer Girl. Thank you for joining. And we have Mike Bush and John get it with San Francisco. You were close there, Ryan. But San Francisco, Mike Bush and John. Yeah, Pittsburgh. Sticking with the 70s. Welcome in, Cherie. Okay, here we go. Next question. Raymond Burr played a wheelchair-bound detective in which 1960s police drama? Welcome back, Nick. Yeah, everybody started to come in. I know it's dinner time, so it does make it hard for people to want to stop in and everything. And I'll read the question. Oh, we have two of the answers, and it was Car Key and Surfer Girl 326 with Ironside. Ironside. So Car Key and Surfer Girl get the answer. Okay, Car Key, you get the pick. Oh, no problem. It's Joey's World. I understand it's dinner time. And everybody just started coming in here in the last few moments. So welcome in. She liked to have the 70's. Yeah, poor Nick was here by himself before, but we're back. Okay, here we go. Next question. In the 1976 film, All the President's Men tells the story of two journalists investigating what? Welcome in, Purple Tube. Thank you for joining. In the 1976 film, All the President's Men tells the story of two journalists investigating what? And it's Joey's World and Surf Bum John get it with Watergate. Watergate. It's Joey's World. And John. Okay, it's Joey's World. You get to pick the next category. We have the 50's, 60's, 70's, 80's, 90's, and 2000's. The 80's. We're moving up the line. Okay, here we go with the 1980's. In which city were the 1988 Summer Olympic Games held in? In which city were the 1988 Summer Olympic Games held? In which city were the 1988 Summer Olympic Games held in? That's not Los Angeles, but that's a good guess. I'll see if anybody else comes up with the answer. And it's Joey's World gets it with Seoul, South Korea. So it was the Seoul Summer Games in 1988. Yes, I was sitting there thinking that Joey's got to be giving you the answer. You want to go to the 70's. Okay. Put this card away because we're finished with that one. And we'll move on to the 70's. Okay, here we go. Yeah, 84 was LA. Okay, here we go. In which year did Paul McCartney leave the Beatles, thereby causing the band to break up? In which year did Paul McCartney leave the Beatles, thereby causing the band to break up? And we know where the breakup happened. Welcome in, William, England, Portugal. Thank you for joining. Guess a year in the 70's. And it's Joey's World and Movie Mania Nick get it with 1970. So it's Joey's World And Movie Mania Nick get it with 1970s. I missed the 2000s. No, you're not too late because everybody just kind of started filtering in. So you're fine. Okay, it's Joey's World. You get to pick the next category. And you're going to stick with the 70s. Okay. Here we go. At the 1976 Montreal Olympics, the 14-year-old gymnast Nadia Comaneci scored the first perfect 10 ever on the uneven bars. What nationality was Comaneci? And Surf Bum John and Surfer Girl 326 gets it with Romania. Romanian. So John and Surfer Girl get it with Romanian. Okay. John, you get to pick the next category. She was from Romania. The 60s. See if I have a card out here. Oh, yes, we do. Okay, the 1960s. Which actress played the title role in the 1967 film Thoroughly Modern Millie? And Surfer Girl 326 and Car Key get it with Julie Andrews. Julie Andrews. Welcome in Addiction Mouse and Catherine Wilby. So Surfer Girl 326 and Car Key. So Cherie, you get to pick the year that you like a question from. Well, welcome in Addiction Mouse. Thank you for joining. And Cherie, you can pick what category? The 60s. Okay. Sticking with the 60s. Here we go. In 1965, David Miller was the person persecuted for burning what publicly? In 1965, David Miller was the person persecuted for burning what publicly? And that's a good guess, but it's not the U.S. flag. But that's a good guess, but it's not the U.S. flag. Something else was going on at that time that you had to do if you were a man. And Movie Mania Nick and Mike Bush get it with Draft Card. Movie Mania Nick and Mike Bush get it with the Draft Card. That Draft Card. Okay, Movie Mania Nick, you get to pick the next category. But guessing the flag was a good one because I would have thought that too. Back to the 80s. Okay, here we go. 1980s. The best-selling arcade game of all time was launched in Japan in 1980. Which game was it? The best-selling arcade game of all time was launched in Japan in 1980. Which game was it? And Addiction Mouse and Annie Koo get it with Pac-Man. So Addiction Mouse and Annie Koo with Pac-Man. So Addiction Mouse, you get to pick the next category. You can stick with the 80s or pick a different year or a different decade. Yeah, you're actually in third place there, Annie Koo. Sticking with the 80s, 1980s. Okay, here we go. John Hannibal Smith, H.M. Howling Mad Murdoch, Bosco Elbert, B.A. Baracus, and Templeton Faceman Peck made up which TV gang? John Hannibal Smith, H.M. Howling Mad Murdoch, Bosco Albert Baracus, and Catherine Wilby and Addiction Mouse get it with the 18. With the 18. Good job, Catherine and Amanda. With the 18. Okay, Catherine Wilby, you get to. Yes, I pity the fool. Dang, my computer froze on the phone now. Oh no. Okay. Catherine Wilby, you get to pick the next category. Going way back to the 50s. Karki, get your typing fingers because you're in first place right now, Karki. But here we go, the 1950s. Launched in 1952, which popular toy, still available today, became the first to be advertised on television? Launched in 1952, which popular toy, still available today, became the first to be advertised on television? Give a couple more moments. Looks like all the answers are in. And it's Joey's World gets it for Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head. It was Mr. Potato Head. Slinky was a good guess, though. But Mr. Potato Head. So it's Joey's World. Got it. I only know because I saw it on the box of one today. Ah, that's pretty cool. Okay, back to the 1970s. I thought you were going to say that you saw it at the Toy Story Mania line or the Slinky Dog line where they have all the toys. Okay, here we go. Name the year. Okay, this is 1970s. Name the year Chinese Communist leader Mao Zedong dies. Pictures of the surface of Mars are sent back by the Viking 1 lander. Sylvester Stallone stars in the film Rocky. It was at Aldi's. Hard to believe. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, Aldi's. Thanks for the reminder. Name the year Chinese Communist leader Mao Zedong dies. Pictures of the surface of Mars are sent back by the Viking 1 lander. Sylvester Stallone stars in the film Rocky. Let's see if anybody got the answer. And it is Surf Bum John with 1976. 1976. So John gets the answer correct. And Movie Mania Nick comes in. It was popping up as I was saying it. So, okay, John, you get to pick the next category. The next category, John. The 70s. Okay, here we go. Find something different here. What was the name of the character played by Carol O'Connor in the TV sitcom All in the Family, which debuted on CBS in 1971? What was the name of the character played by Carol O'Connor in the TV sitcom All in the Family? And Addiction Mouse and Mike Bush come in with Archie Bunker. Archie Bunker. So Addiction Mouse and Mike Bush. Okay, Addiction Mouse, you get to pick the next category. Edith, yeah. Edith Bunker. Okay, going to the 1990s. See if I have a card out here. Okay, here we go. The top 3 best-selling books of the 1990s were all novels by J.K. Rowling about which fictional character? The top 3 best-selling books of the 1990s were all novels by J.K. Rowling about which fictional character? And Car Key and Movie Mania Nick get it first with Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Good job, Carol and Nick, with Harry Potter. Okay, Car Key, welcome in. Dad Builds. Yeah, the Terminator. Okay, Car Key, you get to pick the next category. Welcome in, Rhonda. No problem. Welcome in. Okay, Karki, you get to pick the next category. Okay, she said 70's. Somehow I missed her there. That's weird. Okay, 70's. Sorry. Somehow it's missed it. It must have got eaten there. Okay, here we go. 1970's. What television series was set on a cruise ship and revolved around the ship's captain, crew, and passengers? It probably got mixed in as everybody was saying hi to Chris and Rhonda. So it's Joey's World, and Mike Bush get it with the Love Boat. So it's Joey's World, and Mike Bush get it with the Love Boat. Good job, everyone, on that one. Okay, it's Joey's World. You get to pick the next category. 80's. Back to the 80's. Okay, 1980's. Okay, thank you, Purple Tube. If you guys haven't already done so, please remember to hit that thumbs up button. It does help out our channel. And if you're new, consider subscribing. Check out all our other videos and live streams. And make sure you hit that notification bell because you never know when we may go live. Here we go, 1980's. I think that's what you said, yeah. How many lines does Arnold Schwarzenegger have in the film The Terminator, released in 1984? How many lines does Arnold Schwarzenegger have in the film The Terminator, released in 1984? Is it 12, 18, or 25 lines? Is it 12, 18, or 25 lines? There's your Terminator question, Chris. And it's Joey's World gets it with 18. Arnold Schwarzenegger had 18 lines. Yes, but only one memorable line. Yep, I'll be back. So it's Joey's World gets that with 18 lines. The 70's. His voice was dubbed because he could not speak good English yet. Yeah, I was wondering that back, especially back then when those were made. Okay, the 70's. Finish the popular catchphrase for the Weebles toys originating in Hasbro's Play School divisions. Weebles wobble, but are you Sarah Connor? Yeah. Finish the popular catchphrase for the Weebles toys originating in Hasbro's Play School division. Weebles wobble, but. Okay. So it's Joey's World, Annie Coo, and Addiction Mouse with Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. So let's see who got it first. It's Joey's World, and then Annie Coo and Addiction Mouse. So it's Joey's World. You still have control of the board. Good night, Movie Mania Nick. You had 7 points this evening. The 1970s. Okay, here we go. In the 1971 musical fantasy film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, what were Willy Wonka's workers called? In the 1971 musical fantasy film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, what were Willy Wonka's workers called? So, Car Key, it's Joey's World, and Movie Mania Nick get the answer with Oompa Loompas. So, Car Key, it's Joey's World, and Movie Mania Nick. Okay, Car Key, we're going to do 4 more questions, and then we will end the evening. So, Car Key, you get to pick the next category. Okay, Lisa, you can pick the next category, you and Joey. And we'll do 4 more questions here. Because I know Pete McDevitt went live, the Disney Nerd Herders went live. Don't forget to check out this and that. And I'm not sure if Justin and Joy are going live later, but check them out also. But the 1970s. Okay, here we go. Name the year the crew of Apollo 13 land safely following an explosion that nearly ended their mission. The Ford Pinto is introduced. Janis Joplin dies from a heroin overdose. Name the year the crew of Apollo 13 land safely following an explosion that nearly ended their mission. The Ford Pinto is introduced. Janis Joplin dies from a heroin overdose. And it's not 1972, so nobody has the answer yet. What year did Janis Joplin die? The Ford Pinto was introduced, and the Apollo mission did not land on the moon, but they got back safely. Not 1976 or 74 or 71. Addiction Mouse. A year in the 70s, yes. Well, what year? And Mike Bush gets it with 1970. Mike Bush gets it with 1970. Okay, Mike Bush, you get to pick the next category. And we have 2 more questions to go. Sticking with the 70s. Okay, here we go. For many years, Victor Kime appeared in a commercial claiming, "I liked it so much, I bought the company. What was the product?" And this kind of reminds me of Shep because he kind of did a funny commercial like it. But for many years, Victor Kime appeared in a commercial claiming, "I liked it so much, I bought the company. What was the product?" And this is the 1970s. Wind paper. Yeah. Not 3M. I know one person's close, but that's not the exact name. So I'll probably have to throw this out just because. But Mike Bush, you're the closest. It was an electric razor, but it was Remington shaver. Remington shaver. And I see that it's Joey's World, but I'll give Mike Bush and It's Joey's World a point. And sticking with the 1970s. Here we go. Which president gave the famous "I am not a crook" speech? Which president gave the famous "I am not a crook" speech? And it's Joey's World and Addiction Mouse. Get it? And Mike Bush was Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon. And Addiction Mouse. Okay. Car Key, Mike Bush, and It's Joey's World. You guys are in a 3-way tie. So I will let Annie Koo pick the category for the 3-way tie to see who is the winner. Watergate hearings always interrupt my favorite TV shows. And of course, Annie picks the 2000s. The 2000s. So Car Key, Mike Bush, and It's Joey's World. And let me grab a 2000 card. That's weird. I had one out. So just a moment. I gotta pull out a card here. Sorry about that. Oh, you're welcome, Addiction Mouse, Amanda. Thank you for joining this evening. But here we go. I'm looking for a good question. Okay, here we go. Which online company features a bird named Larry as its logo? Which online company features a bird named Larry as its logo? Yes, just those three. And the first answer I see is It's Joey's World with Twitter. With Twitter. Okay, our big winner tonight, and you won 2 weeks in a row. It's Joey's World. Mike Bush and Car Key are second place. So it's Joey's World, first place. Mike Bush, Car Key, second place. And then we have Movie Mania Nick in third place. Annie Koo, fourth place. Addiction Mouse and Surf Bum John. And fifth place, then it's Surfer Girl and Catherine will be finish up the bottom. But I did stay at a Holiday Inn once. So good job, Lisa and Mike Bush and Car Key. Good job, everyone. I hope you guys had a great time. And that was Lisa's a 2-week winner. So good job, Lisa. And it's Joey's World. I hope you guys have a great night. Don't forget to check out Dean of the Live Place, theliveplace.com. I also want to thank Dean for the Magic Mill. I picked up his Christmas card today. And I also got a card from the Hitchhiking Bones. So thank you very much to Hitchhiking Bones and Dean of the Live Place. So don't forget to check out deanoftheliveplace.com. Go check out everyone there. And all the different channels that are in the chat, like Movie Mania Nick, it's Joey's World. I know they do various vlogs and movie reviews and just various motivational type videos. So have a great night, everyone, and let the adventures begin. And I will see you in the chats this evening. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll see you later. Bye.